Kia ora and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming along this afternoon. My name is Assistant Commissioner Richard Chambers, and I have with me the Waitematā District Commander, Superintendent Naila Hassan. I'd just like to firstly start by acknowledging the massive outpouring of grief and support that has come into police here in Auckland from not only our colleagues across the country, people of New Zealand, but also the massive amount of support that has come into us globally. We have had our global police family connecting with us over the last couple of days, and I do want to acknowledge that support, which helps us to all keep doing what we do every day and every night. I'd also like to take an opportunity to acknowledge the investigation team. After the tragic events of Friday morning, our colleagues have continued to do what they do so well, and in the knowledge that one of us had been seriously hurt, another injured, and of course we lost our friend and colleague Matt shortly thereafter. I also want to acknowledge the support of a member of the public who was present when the events unfolded in Rainella Drive and was also injured. Our injured colleague, he remains in a stable condition in hospital, as does the member of the public who was also injured. There are a number of things that obviously I won't be able to answer today. We have two people now before the court, and there are a number of suppression orders in place. But I will say that we are not looking for anybody else in relation to this investigation. The investigation team has done a stunning job since the events of Friday morning. That work continues and will continue for a lot longer as we piece together the events of Friday and prepare a case to put before the court on behalf of the victims. That's all from me. We will take questions at the end. I'd like now to hand over to Superintendent Hassan, who will talk to you about our staff, our people and the community.
We're absolutely devastated at the loss of our colleague and our brother Matt. Matt's death is the ultimate sacrifice of a police officer working to keep our country safe. This has affected our staff right across the country without exception. 14,000 brothers and sisters in the New Zealand Police are feeling this great loss. Commissioner Costa and I spent time with Matt's mum yesterday. And as you can appreciate, she is dealing with every parent's worst fear, to outlive their child. We continue to work tirelessly to put support around Matt's mum and the remainder of his family. We also visited the injured police officer in hospital and the injured member of the public who was injured. Understandably, the surviving police officer has mixed feelings. He is very grateful to be alive, but he is absolutely devastated at the loss of his colleague. I'm incredibly proud of the way our staff responded immediately following this incident. I commend the tenacity of our staff on duty on that day who performed their duties at the scene. But I also acknowledge all the staff who have continued to come into work since then, every single day, to keep our community safe. We are layering support around our staff, but obviously it's incredibly difficult for them at this time. I want to thank my fellow district commanders, particularly my colleagues across Tamaki Makaurau, who have supported Waitematā District. the executive, the police executive, and the rest of the New Zealand Police who have wrapped around this district, the staff and everyone and the community, to help us get through the tragedy of these events. There was a karakia at the scene today that was blessed by iwi. It was a moving event, but certainly important tikanga to observe. We are greatly comforted by the amazing community support we're receiving. New Zealanders around the country, thank you for the messages of support you are giving not only to Waitematā district, but to our blue family of 14,000. There are hundreds of flowers left outside not only Henderson Police Station, but police stations all around the country. And I'm receiving photos of those flowers. Our staff are humbled by the support shown by our communities. I particularly want to acknowledge the Massey community. For this to happen on their doorstep is no doubt absolutely frightening. I want to finish talking about Matthew. Matt has a degree in criminology. He'd only been in police for 2.5 years. Most of his career was in Orewa. Matt is an outstanding police officer. He passionately demonstrated his desire to serve his community. He was a fit young man and set himself very high standards. He was highly respected by his peers. He is and will continue to be sorely missed by us all. He was killed serving his country. There is no higher price.
Thank you, team. Questions? Our job is to work closely in support of Matt's family. Obviously, they will take the lead and will support whatever their wishes are.
When, if known, do you expect the second officer to be able to return to active duty?
The second officer has serious injuries. He won't be returning to duty immediately.
The second officer, how closely did he work with Matt? Have you worked with him for the 2.5 years?
No, the second officer had only recently started working with Matt.
How are the rest of the team been over the past few days?
You can expect everyone is just absolutely devastated. There is no higher sacrifice. There is no worse scene than seeing your colleague get killed in the line of duty.
Can I say too, Naila and I have recently returned from the karakia at the roadside, and the indication there talks to, of the number of staff that were present, talks to the support that Matt had. There were hundreds of police staff there. There were members of the community, there were members of Matt's family. So I think that says a lot to us all, just as a reminder of just how highly respected Matt was by us all.
Following what happened, there was a large manhunt for several hours. How challenging was that for your team to be involved in that? Were any staff taken off and replaced by officers from another district to support them?
The investigation obviously is ongoing. I absolutely admire the resilience of our people at a time like this. Obviously, shortly after the event unfolded, around about 10:30 on Friday, and we knew